Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Pixley for President. In my video about the budget, part 2, I forgot to mention that as part of my infrastructure bill, I want to invest some money into transmission lines. These are the giant metal power lines, and they have a short life expectancy. Some of them are only made to last about 20 years, though many of them have been out for about 50 or so years. Due to this, they're suffering from rust, breakage, corrosion. The insulation on the lines themselves are starting to dry rot. And they've been the cause for several wildfires in California that have done billions of dollars in damages. By replacing these transmission lines, we can cut down on the wildfires. Probably eliminate one or two a year, but that would save us billions of dollars in damages. Yeah, and we can also restructure the power grid to be more effective. But now I want to move on to today's topic. Have you heard about all the illegals that have been bussed into cities to vote, despite there being a federal law against non-citizens voting? Several politicians have brought this up in their campaigns in recent years. So I wanted to discuss that this week. So Ohio State Secretary of State in an audit found 137 suspected non-citizens on their state rolls out of 8 million registered voters. Now these are only suspected non-citizens. They haven't been proven yet. So some of them could still be citizens. North Carolina did their own audit of their rolls and found similar numbers. Georgia's Secretary of State Brett Raffensperger did an audit of their rolls and found that 1,634 non-citizens had tried to register to vote over the last 25 years, and all of them were rejected because they were not citizens. On the other hand, the state of Alaska had recently culled their rolls to get rid of non-citizens, and in doing so, they have kicked thousands of registered citizens off the rolls. So, a post that I've been seeing making its rounds on social media, but I cannot verify it, cites a study by the ultra-conservative Heritage Foundation. They found 77 votes, that's it, 77, cast by non-citizens in the last election. That is out of about 160 million votes. As you can see, that forms a very small percentage. Too many zeros to count. Now, in order to register to vote, you have to provide proof of citizenship. I personally used my passport when I filed to vote, or registered to vote. It is a federally issued ID that proves my citizenship. Access Hollywood has a video of Billy Bush going with Donald Trump to vote, and Trump was refused by 3 polling places because he was not on their rolls. I have a link to that video in the description. I wanted to copy it and insert it, but I couldn't find a copy I could download. But as you can see, if you're not registered to vote at a specific polling place, you can't vote there. So, bringing in all of these illegals to vote, they're going to get refused at the door. As we've seen, from the Heritage Foundation study, which once again I cannot verify their numbers, and the audits that states have done of their rolls, there is no widespread problem with non-citizens voting. A few do manage to slip through the cracks, but they're eventually caught. And I'm sure that everyone watching this that has voted remembers having to check in, and they compare your information and signature to your registration to prove you are who you say you are. Now, in order to solve this non-problem, Representative Chip Roy of Texas has introduced a bill called the Save America Act. This bill will require you to present your birth certificate or passport at the polling place when you cast your vote. It is estimated that about 27 million Americans do not have such documents readily available, and about 2.6 million don't even have any federal photo ID, or federally approved photo ID. A major concern with this bill is that it will disenfranchise people who have changed their names, such as married women. Their names will not match those on their birth certificates, and so they will be unable to vote. Now, this could be worked around by millions of people applying for their passports before the next election in about 9 months. So you should get to work on getting all of that documentation together. Now, this bill has passed the House along party lines. It was a 218 to 213 vote. However, there are not enough votes in the Senate for it to pass if the vote's still along party lines. Now, Senator Lisa Murkowski, a Republican, has said she does not plan on voting for this bill. My guess is she's married and her last name doesn't match her birth certificate. So certain states have enacted laws and closed voting places to try to discourage certain groups from voting. It's an ongoing problem in the country, specifically in the South. North Carolina closed a polling place at a historically black college there, and the students walked about 2 miles down a highway to get to the next nearest polling place. A study has shown that they have closed over 1,000 polling places in recent years, despite the number of voters increasing. And most of them were in predominantly black or Latino neighborhoods. I talk more about it in my book, Pixley for President, which I do not have in front of me. Now, I encourage everyone watching this to write, call, or email your congressman and tell them what your thoughts are on this issue. Come Election Day, make sure that your friends and family can make it to their proper polling places, which their closest ones might be closed. And, they might need someone to drive them to the next closest one. And on Election Day, vote for someone that believes in letting you keep your right to vote. Let us preserve the democracy in this country, giving everyone a say in their elected officials, not just the rich and powerful. This is your country, not theirs. Well, it's also still theirs, but it's your country too. Get your say in the matter. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Please help me get the word out. Let people know that there are other options come Election Day. Have a good day.